and welcome to all our viewers in Nigeria and around the world to Midday News on Global Television, coming to you live from the nation's capital, Abuja. I am Uyi Agumofwebe, reminding our viewers that Global Television is on DSTV channel 365 and Star Times 276. You can download the Global TV Nigeria mobile app for Android and iOS devices to keep track of our 247 broadcast. Despite the 2027 election being 2 years away, an alleged plot to drop Vice President Kashim Shettima as President Bola Tinubu's running mates in the poll has divided the All Progressives Congress APC. A meeting held by the party's Northeast stakeholders in Gombe State ended in a fracas as supporters of the Vice President attacked the party's own Vice Chairman, Mustafa Saliu. An angry member was seen in a viral video hitting Saliu with a chair as he scampered away to escape the wrath of the party faithful. We'll continue to follow that development for you. Benue State Governor Yasin Thalia has confirmed the death of 59 persons in a recent attack on Yelowata community by suspected herdsmen believed to have been crossed over from neighboring Nasarawa State. Felicity Ndere tells us more.
Governor Yasin Thalia revealed that the casualty figure was confirmed after a physical head count conducted by security agencies in collaboration with families of the victims. He said all relevant security services held a joint meeting to ensure the accuracy of the figure released. Among the dead were military personnel and a civil defense officer who lost their lives while defending the community during the attack.
As we speak, the official reporting we have all received, and we compare notes. We had some meeting all through the night yesterday, and then this morning with a physical meeting as well. And the official figures, all security heads, was 59 with the head counts, with enlistment of the affected families and individuals. That is the basic.
Governor Alia also appreciated the support of his Nasarawa State counterpart, who shared intelligence that shed light on the incident. He confirmed that the attack also claimed the life of a woman on the Nasarawa side of the border. He made the remarks while receiving a report from the panel of inquiry on malicious activities in the Sankra Axis.
Where we've been having kind of a route into the state for these attacks is through Nasarawa State. There are specific points and areas and localities we know based on security intel.
The Yelowata massacre is one of the deadliest attacks in recent times, highlighting the worsening security in border communities between Benue and Nasarawa states. From the government house in Makudi, Felicity Ndere, Global TV News.
Thank you so very much, Felicity. Many Nigerians are demanding the federal government to declare a state of emergency in Benue State following the killing of a reported number of 200 people in a two-day rampage by suspected herders. Many comparing the silence over the Benue massacre to the suspension of the Rivers State's Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the declaration of a state of emergency in March of this year, which they described as the Rivers situation being a heavy-handed response to a political crisis that has claimed no lives. Meanwhile, in a report reviewed, it shows that at least 45 people were confirmed dead in Goma local government area of Benue State. Suspected herdsmen have launched a deadly attack on Sheyange, a thief-dominated community in Obi local government area of Nasarawa State. The attackers reportedly killed the village head and abducted several residents during the raid. The gunmen stormed the agrarian community on motorbikes, unleashing terror and destruction, leaving many people injured and several homes deserted. The federal government has indicated that concerns over ground rent obligations involving several foreign embassies in the federal capital territory will be addressed through established diplomatic processes. Spokesperson for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Kimebi Ebiemfe, says the matter would be taken up with the Federal Capital Territory Administration and handled accordingly. The assurance followed reports that the FCTA might take enforcement action, including the possible sealing of 34 embassies over unpaid ground rents dating back to 2014. Lagos State government has issued a warning to residents, especially those in low-lying areas and communities near rivers and lagoons, to remain vigilant as continued heavy rainfall is expected to trigger flash floods across the state. This was disclosed in the statement signed by the State Commissioner for Environment and Water Resources, Tokunbo Wahab. Wahab noted that recent forecasts from the state's weather stations show geostationary imagery indicating thunderstorms, widespread connective rainfall, and dense cloud cover over Lagos State. The Joint House of Representatives Committee on Public Accounts and Public Assets has invited the Minister of Finance, Wale Edun, and the Central Bank of Nigeria Governor Olayomi Kadoso to appear before it today over allegations of non-compliance with the provisions of Fiscal Responsibility Act 2007. The top government officials are also expected to answer questions on the internal control weaknesses identified in the Global 2021 report by the Office of the Auditor General of the Federation. The Nigerian Union of Teachers has urged President Bola Tinubu to prioritize teachers' values and welfare to make the profession more attractive to the younger generation. The national president of the union, Comrade Audu Amba, made the call in an interview in Abuja, where he urged the government to make teachers role models and recognize the teaching profession as a pillar of societal advancement. Amba criticized the current situation where teaching is seen as, according to him, Austin's choice among admission and job seekers as a last resort. This is Global Television. You're watching the live broadcast of Midday News with Uyi Agumofwebe, where the rest of the news returns shortly. Oil extends gain as Israel-Iran conflict stokes supply concerns. Details coming shortly, plus foreign and sport.
Do you know that Global Television can be watched in Nigeria and all over the world?
Download the Global TV Nigerian mobile app for Android and iOS devices to watch Global Television real-time from around the world. What are you waiting for?
Start downloading and stay connected to Global Television.
The rest of the news now returns to a business where oil rose again today after Israel and Iran continued attacks on each other, entering the fourth day with the market bracing for an escalation that could disrupt supply from a region that produces around a third of the world's crude. Brent jumped as much as 5.5% at the open before paring gains to trade around $75 a barrel, while West Texas Intermediate WTI was near $74. Israel launched an attack on the South Pars gas field, forcing the halt of a production platform after strikes on Iran's nuclear sites and military leadership last week. The Dangote Petrochemical Company has announced plans to begin nationwide distribution of premium motor spirits, popularly called petrol and diesel, from August 15, 2025. The company is deploying 4,000 brand new compressed natural gas power tankers to boost delivery capacity and improve access to fuel across the country. The offer, according to a statement released by the petrochemical company, is open to marketers, petrol station dealers, manufacturers, telecoms operators, aviation firms, and other large-scale fuel users. Let's take you to the foreign scene now, where the U.S. ambassador to Israel, Mike Huckabee, says an embassy after Israel struck military targets deep inside Iran, with both sides threatening further devastation. Many gutted buildings in the coastal hub of Tel Aviv after Israel's army warned people to take cover from incoming Iranian missiles. Russia has announced the evacuation of several of its citizens from Iran and the temporary suspension of operations at its consulate in Tehran, citing escalating hostilities between Israel and Iran. The Russian embassy in Tehran stated via telegram that due to the current situation, the consular service of the embassy is temporarily suspending its activities. In the meantime, it has also called on Russia's Civil Aviation Authority to suspend flights to Iran and Israel, vowing their airspace, including that of Jordan and Iraq, until at least June the 26th. In a related development, United States President Donald Trump has warned Tehran not to strike any U.S. targets, just as he lauded Israel's offensive while denying Iranian allegations that the U.S. has taken part. Trump said if they are attacked in any way, shape or form by Iran, the full strength of the might of the U.S. armed forces will come down on Iranian interests at levels never before seen. Let's turn our eyes away from conflict for a second and bring you some excitement from the world of sports. Al Hilal have increased their offer in a desperate attempt to sign Napoli's Victor Osimhen this summer. The figures could make Osimhen the highest earning footballer from Africa. The Saudi Pro League side have tabled the contract offer worth up to 50 million euros per year without bonuses in a bid to tempt the 26-year-old. What a pleasant temptation there. In another move, Turkish champions Galatasaray are reportedly optimistic about completing one of the boldest transfers in their history as they push to permanently sign Nigerian striker Victor Osimhen from Napoli. Sky Sports says the Istanbul Giants remain hopeful despite renewed interest from several top Premier League clubs, including Liverpool and Manchester United, who are said to have held internal discussions over a potential move. Despite growing interest from several top Premier League clubs in recent days, the Turkish champions are not backing down in their pursuits of the Nigerian international. In our tennis, teen sensation Yusuf Quadri has etched his name into Nigerian squash history, becoming the first junior player to win both the under-19 and senior men's titles at the 4th edition of the Prime Atlantic Squash Tournament held at the Teslim Balogun Stadium in Lagos State. The 17-year-old prodigy showcased remarkable stamina and skill, defeating Nigeria's number 3 ranked senior player Farouk Suleiman 3-1 in the men's final, just hours after clinching a 3-1 victory over Joshua Daniel in the under-19 final. Top-seeded Rofiat Abdulaziz also reaffirmed her dominance in the women's category, beating Faridat Soliu 3-1 to retain her title in a fiercely contested final. It marked her second consecutive win at the